I feel like Prospector Pete. Head ass nigga. Predator missile inbound. Predator missile inbound. A cracker ass white boy just said nigga in the comfort of his living room. What's the guy's name from Modern Warfare? The cool one. Price? Captain Price? Price. Hit him with the sniper.
And destroy. Clear the objective.
What if I just got fucking sniped in my face right now for saying that?
Bomb acquired.
Shut out.
What'd you do? Welcome back.
Episode 3 of Tired of Regular Stupid People podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. Special announcement. I'm gonna save it towards the end.
I know what it is.
You know what it is.
What do I know? What is it?
I mean, use your fucking imagination. What would I announce on the podcast? Like,
Oh,
what's like, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. There's nothing really crazy happening lately. We've just been hanging out, playing Xbox, playing some shit. I've been uploading some shit. Zach's working on some shit behind the scenes. Did you hear about Starfield got leaked?
Like the ending?
Dude, check it out. Guy, no, not the ending, but check it out. Guy ends up working at some place. I don't know. Details are fuzzy on that for me. He's at his job. They just have a bunch of review fucking codes for Starfield. Not the full game, just review kits. Laying around, like a lot. Like I'm talking like a trunk load of a fuckload, like a lot. And he's selling them, giving them out. And he ended up leaking 40 minutes of footage on Twitter of Starfield.
Is that the whole thing that showed that the open worlds, like, or the planets
I think
weren't
so. It
actually
might have
planets?
been him. It might have been him. He might have been the one to do that. But he did that. Bethesda immediately got him. And he got arrested on like a different crime, like marijuana possession or something. And Bethesda tracked him down. And, he's getting shit for that. But that guy ended up like getting a fuck ton of review codes from his work. I want to know where do you work? Like what job has just like a bunch of review codes for like the biggest upcoming game laying around on like tables or somewhere like easy accessible just by some dude?
Maybe he had some type of connection to
That's
someone like that.
Yeah. You had some type of insider to be able to do that type of shit. Yeah, Starfield, man. I'm fucking hyped for that.
I'm hoping this game is gonna be good because especially the shit where it showed like like these open planets aren't actually like that alone. Like obviously, like it makes sense. Not all of the planets are about to be like that, but I hope there's at least like a couple. Like
you want to hear like
what? There's 1,000 or 100.
You want to hear
planets.
like my like I guess like my take on it, on like the planets, like the boundaries and shit. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's a Bethesda game, what'd you expect, right? Because the way they've advertised it is, what people are expecting now. But the way I see it with the whole like walls being hit is when that happens, the other like what you see beyond the wall that you can't go is just blank terrain, just nothing but rocks, no creatures, no buildings, no nothing. It's literally just rocks. There's no reason to explore that anyway. Like, what would you do? Do you know what I'm saying? So they kind of restrict you to. It is a big area still on every. I'm sure, like you said, there might be a planet where the whole thing is accessible, and they didn't just procedurally generate it. They hand crafted the planet and added stuff to the whole planet, like it's one of the main ones or something like that. But with the ones we seen, where it's like, yeah, you can't go past this. It's like, why would you want to? Like in a way, because there's nothing to do out there anyway. It's kind of like restricting you to the areas where there's actual shit. Like you could go to a random planet and like you could check out a fuck ton of the area and the flora, the fauna, whatever it is, but like beyond those those limitations, like those walls and stuff, there's like nothing to do. So they're kind of like just helping you out instead of just being like, go waste your time out in the middle of nowhere, basically. It's just like the plane, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like just literally nothing. You're just running out there, just like sitting out there. And I mean, I do understand that it is kind of like
come on now, but nonetheless.
But yeah, still, it's like it's like a little nitpicky. I've seen so many people bring it up already about what you're saying, like the wall thing. It's like going crazy right now. But also it is like, they did say a lot about like, go anywhere, be free, like planet to planet exploration, explore the entirety of any planet. And like, Yeah, I guess it is like explore the entirety of any planet within the means of like what's worth exploring.
Yeah, it could be like you know, like a barren planet that not anything at all. I hope it was only like maybe like one or two of them like that too. Like not like, you know, like the whole, like there's like a majority of them are really just rock planets. Like either if it's snow, gaseous, or whatever kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, there's 1,000 by the way, is the like Todd Howard
1,000.
number he said. Like, I think that like yeah, there will probably be a decent amount of like stuff to like not stuff to do, but like exploration, different shit to see on planets and all that. But I don't think it's gonna be like you know, people are kind of expecting like every single one's different. There's creatures on every single one. There's minerals on every single one. The thing that catches me
like its own
is
thing.
the factions. There's like 7 different like really in-depth factions, maybe more. I can't even remember, but like you could be part of like the fucking like a pirate crew. It's so many different factions that are like in depth.
Isn't it like 20 or something like that?
I think that's the companion number.
Oh, okay.
I don't
I'm not
mind
really
the 30
too big
FPS
into these
thing.
types of games either. Yeah, no, especially since after Texas Chainsaw and like how their what's it called? Their quality mode is, it feels like it's 60 frames in a way. Like I cannot tell a single difference between it. Like there was a time there for like the first like half of me playing it where I was playing in resolution thinking it was performance.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. They definitely like optimized the fuck out of that game and took their time with it. Like I said in the plugging it, I guess I did a little like solo podcast on my channel. Well, I said in there like I really like Texas Chainsaw. I think I gave it like a 7 or 8 within that podcast I did. But the one gripe I do have with it is like what a lot of people expected to happen is it's gonna get stale really quick. Like playing it for long term in a setting is gonna get kind of tedious or stale real quick, boring, because you know you play one match and then you play the next match and the next match and the next match.
And
you're
there's
like
only
6 matches
3
deep. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 3
so much
maps
variation.
in general.
Yeah,
And
there's
then,
only
like,
so
what,
much
3
shit you can do.
Is it 5 killers?
I think 5, yeah.
Yeah, there's only 5 killers, and then either if you're on the other side of it, there's like 8 victims.
Yeah, it's definitely, if that's like your main, like I think I said this verbatim in my little podcast. I said, if it's your type of game, like your cup of tea exactly, like asymmetrical horror multiplayer games are your thing, you'll love it. Like you'll love it to death, and like it might be your favorite fucking game of all time. Or if you're a huge fan of the first movie, Texas Chainsaw. But if you're just somebody coming in as like, I'm gonna check this out, like it is gonna, I understand why a lot of people are gonna get deterred from playing that long term.
They gotta add like new different type of arch characters or
I
something.
Agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Like a lot of people, like even you said, you love Leatherface, but you kind of got burnt out a little bit. I don't know if you said burnt out, it was the exact word.
You know, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
So
in the
like,
same
yeah, like it got old playing him.
Right, you're like, I want to check out
like
some
back
new shit.
to back. Yeah.
And a lot of people feel that way. Like Xavier, when he played with us, or just randoms we've played with, that like, a lot of people feel that way. They're like, I don't really want to keep playing Leatherface. He's kind of, you know, plays the exact same every single fucking time. I feel like I'm doing the same thing, running around the basement or whatever. And like I've suggested this since you've been, you know, starting the game up for the first time on Xbox and checking it out and playing Leatherface. It's like there should be another brute character in some form.
Someone who can take those down.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
or at least crawl through them.
Yeah, exactly. And it wouldn't be a fucking original or a character from the movie. They'd have to make it some type of OC, like original character they created just for the game. But they could do that. They have done that already. They're doing that again with Nancy Black, the next upcoming character. And they could definitely do that. Make like a bulky, fat, like butcher slaughterhouse worker or something that like is friends of the family. Make it like some lore. I'm not, you know what I mean? Go into all that, whatever they want to do with the lore, but make it some big fat fucking dude, some big tall muscular guy, big bulky dude like the size of Leatherface, and have him have like a pickaxe, a shovel, a meat cleaver, a baseball bat with like a spikes in it or something like that. Like on par with like the level of a chainsaw, something big and scary.
Especially how they have Johnny basically as like a small version of Leatherface. He should be able to have something along those lines.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I think
maybe not even him himself, but yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
there needs to be. I think a really cool idea. I think I just got this idea in my head is imagine a dog character. Like on the killer's side. Fully playable. It's like a fucking what's those you're good with dogs, right? Like you know dog breeds fairly well. A fucking German Shepherd, like a really gnarled German Shepherd that obviously is like kept in a fucking cage. And imagine like at the start of the match, Leatherface is in the basement, the cook's like outside or whatever, or like inside, the hitchhiker's outside or whatever, but like when you play as the dog, like you're in a cage. And then like it opens up and it's like time to go, boy. And like your ability is kind of similar to John. Maybe it's like he has different abilities. Like maybe you can sense him out with like a smell trail that's very similar to Johnny's
you can like
ability.
Sniff the ground. Yeah, that would add like a whole other level to it for sure.
It'd be cool to see some character they add that can well. Imagine how fucking terrifying it would be to like go down a well and someone's like crawling down there after you.
Yeah, and like whenever that like killer does it, like he doesn't he lands on his feet. He doesn't fall on his side. But even then, like it's still like like maybe like a little cooldown of like sitting there and it being like kind of like ooh that kind of hurt type shit.
Yeah, I know you aren't like super, and for anyone that isn't, because I know it's an old ass movie, and anyone that hasn't seen the second Texas Chainsaw, I know I've talked to you about it, Zach, a little bit, but there's like characters in there that would work really well, but it sounds like that's not a possibility of them getting the rights to the second movie just because of legal shit. They don't want to deal with having another lawsuit pop up in the future because of like how many people own the rights to the movie. There's a character in there called Chop Top, and he's like a Vietnam vet who has like a plate in his skull, and he's like missing an hand, and he has like a fucking coat hanger, a metal coat wire type shit, and he like picks at his skull and shit, and he's like the perfect character for that game. Like I would say he's very similar to Hitchhiker. The way Leatherface looks in the second movie is like weird, and it would work.
Patrick character also is that the other one in the wheelchair?
Yeah, from the first one. Yeah, that'd be really cool if they added that as a DLC.
That would be like, especially like with us like being like like they should do something like you can play as Grandpa, like even though like it would be like mostly goofy because like you're a dude rolling around like a dude rolling around in a wheelchair, but it's still like it has value to it. It could work into a cool
that
ability.
Battle, Patrick versus Grandpa. Patrick's rolling up on Grandpa in the wheelchair, stabs him with the bone knife, knocks him out his wheelchair. Grandpa immobilized.
Wait, do they fight each other?
No, but like you can. I mean, in the game, obviously. In the movie, I want to say Patrick died, but it was like later on. They like leave him in the fucking van and shit. Kind of like they're all like trying to go like have sex with each other and like skinny dip and like be fun, and he's like in a wheelchair and none of it's like wheelchair accessible, so he's just like sitting in the van in his chair like
Patrick would be a victim.
Guys, man, like fuck yeah, he's a victim.
Oh, I thought he was a part of the family.
No. Imagine the representation for disabled people. That'd be so awesome.
Disabled fat person. That'd be
like somebody playing in a wheelchair. They'd like, that's me. This is for me. I'm Patrick.
Yeah, like I'm literally fucking him.
It'd be cool to see like the gameplay too. It would be really weird though in a lot of ways, but it would be fun to see how they could make it work. Like they would have to add like different layouts to the maps for the wheelchair character to operate, which would be weird just to have it just for that one character, but it would be so worth it to see Patrick in game.
They can definitely make it work. It'd be, I don't know, like, what do you think, like, a wheelchair person, especially on the victim side, ability be?
Like a really fast roll, like he basically just goes fucking, basically like 2 times the speed of his regular sprint. Like when activated, he just like starts hauling ass, like wheeling himself really fast or some shit, something like that.
Maybe something like you can like roll into them type shit.
Ooh, that would be cool too, yeah.
Kind of like how Leland has the like punches you on the ground. You kind of like do like a mega dash, like.
Yeah, I wonder what their plans are. I'm curious. I wish I was an insider and I had knowledge on like the internal, like what they're planning on doing for their next content release. I remember saying like the coolest thing they could do is have Leatherface have like a fucking hockey mask as a cosmetic.
Yes.
Like,
or at least,
it's
maybe
on
even
the
like
nose.
Johnny or someone.
Yeah, like it's on the nose, but it's not like in your face. Like, this is fucking Jason Voorhees.
It'd be funny too, like especially like Leatherface, like it's like kind of like halfway on there, like put on sideways some shit.
Yeah, and it's
Like-
not like Miller and shit own the rights to like hockey masks. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
they
a
just
hockey mask.
as
Even,
long
like,
as they don't like
GTA can
use
get
the name Camp
away with
Crystal
it.
Lake with a machete and a fucking lean into it, say the name Jason Voorhees and
There's
shit.
like a machete sticking out of the side of him or some shit.
It'd be cool, like Johnny gets like a summer camp T-shirt or something, and like as a cosmetic, and fucking Leatherface gets a hockey mask. Interview with Wes Kiltner talking about like what he wants to see, like his dream game he would develop for an asymmetrical multiplayer game, horror related, would be like Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street. I hope that that's not like 10 years out. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause the like wait time between Friday in Texas was pretty long. I just don't want it to be like a situation, and especially since they don't have to do another game, there's no legal issues this time, so they might even delay it even longer and just keep I guess it depends on how long people keep playing Texas for before it gets kind of...
Yeah, and then aren't they also behind Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Not Gun, but Ilphonic, and Ilphonic did Friday.
Okay,
But they're
wasn't
not
Ilphonic
attached,
Gun on Friday?
Gun and Ilphonic, yeah, they're not like one thing.
Okay, so it's like two studios working together. So it's kind of like Treyarch and
Ilphonic
Activision, or
is
like
the
any of them.
developer, and Gun Media was the publisher. And then with Texas, it's Sumo Digital is the developer, and Gun Media is the publisher. And then with Killer Clowns, I'm not entirely sure who the developers are, but I think Ilphonic's the publisher. Which people are saying, like, let's not see another lawsuit thing. My response to that is, why the fuck would they pick an IP knowing their past with having that happen? It's not like people blame them for that, you know, like, oh, how could they do that? It's not like at the time that was it's the first of its time, like that type of case happening. And this is Wes Keltner's quote, like not verbatim, obviously I don't know what he said word for word, but his quote was like, when the Friday the 13th lawsuit happened, that was the first time it had ever happened. Like every single game developer and shit that was working on anything licensed with IPs had to like work out different things in their contract because of the way that happened that they didn't think about before. Like, oh shit, this is something that could like happen later in the future and fuck us. Now we need to like make sure that doesn't happen to us.
Yeah, it would be really smart of them to like sit there beforehand and like they did with this one, sit there and actually secure it. Make sure that there's not going to be any issues whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think they would get Killer Clowns if they thought there was any issues with the licensing.
I watched that, you know, like the before you buy video today, and
Did that
it
come
seems
out
like
today?
it's, yeah,
Okay.
it's already out.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm kind of like not necessarily worried, but like it seems like they took away a lot of what they were like making this game seem to be, because like they took, like, whenever you go to a different planet or whenever you even take off your ship, you can't just pick up your ship and fly into the atmosphere. It's each a loading screen.
It's a
like you would do
teleportation,
a
like your ship's drive or whatever is like teleporting you.
Yeah, you have to like get inside the ship. There's a loading screen. Set your ship where you're out of orbit. Loading screen. Like once you leave a certain part of space, loading screen. Once you go like into like a space station in outer space, loading screen of you docking, and then a loading screen of you actually going into the ship.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing huge, but it kind of like I was expecting it like to be like
they hyped
seamless.
it up to be like it was gonna be something crazy. Like, yeah, you can go seamless from planet to planet wherever you want, build bases wherever you want. Yeah, they kind of did hype it up. I don't even know if it's stuff that they took out. I think it's stuff that they just promised too much. Todd is infamous for that. Like, guys, it's just works. Everything just works, and it's gonna be so seamless. There was a quote. This is how Todd Howard got, like, I don't know if it's how, but it's one of his instances of getting like the reputation of being like that guy, like in the gaming industry, being like kind of a liar and shit. He said that Fallout 3 was gonna have like 300 and something endings.
Oh God.
It had like 2 or 3, from my knowledge, maybe more than that. I'm sure with a little like character variation, but it was not a fucking 300. It wasn't even 100. It wasn't even 20.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, like he's known very like much so as being the guy that over promises shit. It's like it's probably not gonna be all like that. It's gonna be just another Bethesda game that like cleaner than the last Bethesda game. That's what everyone's saying. They're like, a guy put on Twitter, he's like, my Fallout 4 review was just 3,400 words. Just got done with my Starfield review, and it's 3,900 words. So it's like, it just sounds like, yeah, it's like their biggest game to date, but it's still a Bethesda game. Like, they still are the same people. They're still making the same mistakes and fucking up still.
What dude was saying in the Before You Buy also is like, at the end of the day, that's all this is just another Bethesda game. It's nothing like crazy, but obviously it is still a cool concept.
Do see Starfield being like what people are saying it is just because of Skyrim, and Skyrim is already such a game I don't personally like. I can't get into Skyrim like anybody else.
Like a cult classic.
Some people can play Skyrim and have a lot of fun with it. I can do that sometimes. It's not one of those games to me. But like from everything we've heard about Starfield, it just sounds like yeah, like they're setting up to make like their next Skyrim, like the game that's gonna be as big and open, and people are gonna dump millions of hours into it.
With mods, they can probably sit there and add like, you know, the seamless shit. I can see that happening.
Yeah,
but
like
I don't know if that's like
patch,
could be that in
Fallout
depth.
4 did.
Hey, that'd
Fallout
be
4
lit.
had that the uncap FPS mod before they even did anything with Series X, and it was 60 frames and a mod. I was like, ugh.
I can definitely see like how we were talking about before. If Bethesda doesn't do it themselves, a modder doing like a planet you land on, and it's like the events of Skyrim or some shit. Like,
I know it's corny as fuck, but like, I like fucking in a video game.
oh, you just froze. Sorry.
You jumped on my screen. I seen you like.
Yeah, you were like.
Hey, I like fucking in video games, right?
Fucking in video games?
Yeah, like in Cyberpunk, how you can fuck Pan Am and shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And in Starfield, that's a thing. I want mods to like.
Fuck your mom.
No, like I want, you know what I'm saying? I want this to turn into a porno. I want to see some like.
I want them
Lexus,
fucking
Texas
Sims mods.
That game does look good though. Not many days left until it comes out.
Okay, September 6th?
Something like that, I think. Yeah, September 8th.
I want to
6th.
It's something around that. Yeah, it's in the single digits.
Cyberpunk comes out tomorrow for Xbox.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, they've been stealth releasing that shit. I'm like, why aren't you guys like more pushing it, you know? Because I seen one tweet on Twitter for it, and it was just like, it's out tomorrow for Xbox and PS4 or PS5. I mean, I'm like, why not like do a
it's
little
not even
more
in like
than
the
that?
games coming soon type shit. Like you have to like
it might
look
be
it up
now
on your own
but like
before.
it wasn't for the past like weeks. Yeah, it hasn't been in there at
Yeah.
all leading up till the day it's coming out. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you guys not trying to sell
Either-
this game? It's
Either
a
they
good
got
game.
some confidence or they're worried about
They
it.
have to know that it's going to do well because it's got a 10 out of 10 on Steam and it's selling like hotcakes. They're probably like, we don't have to push this. It's going to do well regardless. It's gonna
sell
It has
itself.
a little cult fan base already. But
I'm sure once it comes out, you're gonna start seeing like those advertisements
Yeah.
like on the home
Yeah.
screen, like
I thought they just would have pushed it a little
Cyberpunk.
like harder. But
Yeah,
whatever.
like not even like a trailer or anything,
Maybe
like
they're
or
just,
like
like,
a
saving
IGN
budget.
talking about.
You know, that budget's not there for ad. They're trying to like, we can push this game without doing a bunch of ads for it. We'll be all right. IShowSpeed came back really fire from showing his dick. Like, it didn't really stick around that long, did it?
What?
I don't really keep up with them like that in general, but like the last thing I've seen, like where you know, like just like a bunch of fans like saying that shit to him, and whatnot. Has it chilled out?
Dude, I think he like handled it the best way one could have handled that. Like, he leaned into it. He had his dad call him on stream, and his dad's like, IShowMeat.
Show the meat.
I'm calling my dad.
Like, fucking with him. I don't know if he had his dad call him. I kind of like, you know, maybe to feed into it, to kind of like, dad, you know? Maybe his dad was just fucking with him, making fun of it. He's leaning into it very hard, yeah. Like, he's like owning it as a joke. Like, stop calling me IShowMeat! Like, laughing at it and shit, kind of like, I think like, if he would have handled it, like, guys, I'm taking a break off the internet for my mental health, like, it would have went bad. People would have memed it up hardcore on him. Like, they'd have been like, oh, he hates this? Watch.
Bro, it's like fucking like that was like worse than any jump scare in a Five Nights at Freddy game. He got shocked too. He was just like kind of like standing there for a second afterwards too, like
He probably felt the air on his dick, like, oh my god, that's my Johnson, like, purely out.
I mean, his whole thing is like freaking freaking out about that kind of stuff anyway.
Dude, he
You're,
got
like,
popular with
overreacting,
Aiden
so
Ross
it works
over
out.
fake fucking a transgender girl. Like, it's like, yeah, he's kind of known for feeding into that bullshit. There's a video where Speed and this guy named Prime, Aiden's friend, walk in the room with that girl Ava, the trans girl. Like, Aiden's like, "Ooh, what's that smell?" Like, as soon as they walk in the room, he's like, "What the fuck is that? I'm not even trying to fucking play around. Like, it stinks, bro. Like, it really stinks." Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, quit playing, bro. Come on. Like, fuck you, dude.
I seen those videos of like him watching his subscribers like about to hit 19 mil, and it's like really like at 18 million,
down.
like 9,099. All of a sudden, he's at like fucking like 700,000. It's like, huh? He's like, stop.
Yeah. Aiden, Fousey, Neon, and Sneeko are like in the talks of getting a fucking content house.
And be like a Team 10 type shit.
Like, from the description of what it's supposed to be, right? Like, Fousey, you know Fousey too. I've kind of talked about him a little bit. It's like he used to be really popular on YouTube back in the day, like during like the whole like Roman Atwood era, like pranks, like Vitaly TV shit, social experiments, yeah. And kind of like fell off, you know, like everyone was getting exposed for their pranks being fake during that time and shit, and he fell off of YouTube and had like a, you know, pretty hard time for a couple years there. Got back into like live streaming when Kick got, you know, Kick's been like giving out deals and shit, like $100 million to XQC, $15 million to this guy. Aiden Ross is like part owner of Kick, if you didn't know. He's like the second owner of it, yeah. They signed him for $100 million. Yeah, for like a 4-year contract.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And he signed FouseyTube for $70 million recently. Or that's the number that they're saying. Who knows? Yeah, it could be way less. Could be, you know, who fucking knows?
Way more.
FouseyTube obviously just had like a huge mental breakdown, and like the cops arrested him on live stream and shit. He's been doing a thing where he like is live streaming 24/7, like not shutting it off at all for like the entire rest of the year. So it's like he sleeps on stream, he wakes up on stream, he goes wherever he's going for the day on stream. It's all streamed, and like he's going through it like hardcore mental wise, and like he just was like freaking out because some like fan called his hotel and like doxed him and was talking about coming to kill him and shit. And Fousey was like calling the guy on stream like, "I'm gonna come fucking kill you, I'm gonna literally slit your throat all the way down to your fucking penis," like going crazy on the guy. And like the cops ended up getting called and coming. Fousey was like acting really manic and was like, "I literally said I was gonna slit his fucking penis," like yelling at the cops and shit. And the cops like, "All right, hands behind your back, let's go."
Told him, "If I see you, I'm sticking a knife 9 inches in your neck and I'm sliding it down your penis." He gave me his address.
And how does he look for him if you don't know where he's
I have his address!
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago!
Like, yeah, it's an admirable position to be in. I'm like, I respect that. And there's videos of Aiden Ross, like, he first started streaming like a couple years ago, and it's like him as like a young dude, and he's like, "Guys, I'm like starting it now. Like, I'm gonna be the biggest live streamer in a couple years. Watch, like, I'm gonna do this." And he ended up doing it. It's like, good shit, bro. Respect the grind. Like, you did that shit well.
Yeah.
Apple Vision Pro, the new headset they got going on. The way the Face ID works in that is it takes a scan of your eyeballs, because everyone's eyeballs has a different print, yeah, and it scans your eyes to unlock it.
Put a lock on it?
The way that the Apple Vision Pro works is when you have it on, you can see through it, right? Like if I'm looking at you wearing it, I can see your eyes, right? But it's not a clear image of your eyes through the headset. It's a simulation of what it thinks your eyes look like. So it's a cartoon character version of your face. Like they animate a version of your face and put your eyes there, so like it looks like you. So you can have your eyes closed inside the headset, and I'd still see your eyes open on the outside, because it's not really your eyes on the outside. It's just a scan of your face.
Like those emojis that they
exactly.
have.
It just does like a face scan of your face and makes like an outward image of it to be shown to people who look at it.
That will like definitely like add. Like I remember like whenever VR was first becoming a thing, like the first like thing that like people were like putting to it, like a Oculus, moving around the house in like you're like wherever you are is like in the actual like place where you're at. You have like total spatial awareness. Isn't it technically a form of VR as well as AR? Or is it just like full on just AR?
It's like a very like technologically advanced version of AR technology, yeah. Like, I'm sure you can sort of get into, like, that VR immersion, but I don't think it is, like... Maybe I'm wrong. From what I've heard, it's like an AR type of experience, but I'm sure they balance it out well. Especially for the cost of it, you're going to want it to be a little bit of both.
You just get Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Maybe some DLC. I'm sure they'll have, like, their own, like, little Apple store for it and everything. One of these days, I'd fucking love to get one, especially for, like, that fucking $5,000 price tag for
that
it.
shit's expensive.
Yeah, but
They'll
I mean, it is
change the price
very
once it actually
innovative.
is fully out. Because to compete with Apple and shit like that, they don't want to have their shit be $2,000 more than what Apple's offering.
It could very well be like it's like worth that extra $2,000, but like obviously in the consumer's eye, it'd be great if them drop down that price. Look at your Xbox, and your Xbox screen is in your headset.
That is cool. That would be baller. I'd play that for sure. I'd like that.
You wouldn't even need to get like a 4K TV or anything. It's got like that high-ass refresh rate, everything.
Yeah. Shit.
Bro, the meta is fucking dead.
I don't know if it started yet.
About that. Never. It hasn't started?
Like the whole metaverse?
I thought it has.
Yeah, I don't think it's still in infancy. Like, it's not fully like a thing yet. Like, it's still just like an idea people are throwing around. You can buy property in it and shit, but I don't think it's like fully there yet. Like, the idea of what they're trying to do, like a full-on universe inside of this like world and shit. It's gonna take a long time before they get there.
Yeah, I seen like the last thing on like the meta that I remember about it is they were trying to like advertise like full body tracking.
Yeah, it's literally just like a living social media. Like, you go, instead of just going on Facebook on your phone, you're going in Facebook as a person experiencing it, like walking around, seeing these things and talking to other people, and like, yeah, it sounds cool, but also like far-fetched. We'll have to see how they end up killing it, because it is like a thing that's like sounds like a movie, like a sci-fi movie.
Whenever they were showing the full body tracking, it turned out to be someone sat there and animated all that rather than it actually being like body tracking. It turns out they're not even there yet either. They're just kind of like, you know, getting a little bit too ambitious, like showing like, yeah, this could happen, but we have no idea how we can make that happen.
Thank you guys for watching the Tired of Regular Stupid People podcast, episode 3. Oh, Nick is gonna be. That was the special announcement. Nick is a new host. Instead of just me and Zach, we have me, Zach, and Nick now. So there's gonna be 3 people in here from now on.